Parkinson Power is all about living well with Parkinson's. Right? Living, what's the key word? The key word, Mary, my sweet, quiet Mary, just yelled, well. Okay? Because there's a difference, isn't there, between living well and existing. Right? Anybody can exist. Anybody can cope. Anybody can put up with. Anybody can manage. You see what I'm saying? But how do you live well? How does that define for you? How do you define living well with Parkinson's? Does it mean we're going to take your symptoms away? No. Does it mean we're going to make it easy? No. Okay, so how do you define in your life, in your mind, living well? What does it mean to you? We use the words quality of life. You hear that all over the board. But for you, living well means what to you as a Parkinsonian or as a caregiver? Pete?
Living well means enjoying yourself, doing what you want to do, and staying active.
Okay. Doing what you want to do. Staying active, that's our theme for today, how to stay active and engaged in life. All right. What else? What does it mean? So, see, to me, it's pretty much the disposition. Well, living well is your attitude, is your enthusiasm, all right? Is your joy level, is your motivational level, and it's sometimes very hard with this disease to maintain a high level of enthusiasm. What's the word enthusiasm mean?
Excited.
Yeah, you're excited about it. You know, you do it with a certain amount of gusto, with a certain amount of joy, exhilaration. All right? There's some days I'm enthusiastic, but I'm not bopping around here. I'm doing...
But when those days pass, you waste that.
I save it up. I save it up for you. I was really tired on Sunday. My youngest granddaughter was 2. Oh my goodness! And so I went to Orlando. Family and I did a round trip to Orlando for a Sofia, Princess Sofia. I did not even know what Princess Sofia was on Saturday until I had to go last minute shopping for Princess Sofia. And but the enthusiasm, the joy, the energy of a 2-year-old, and it was at a water park, like a party wasn't enough. And there was water coming from all directions, up, down, coming up from here, and I had a ball. You know, it's kind of fun to do things that are childlike, you know? I didn't care about my hair or my makeup or anything. I just was running around with this little Cha-Cha 2-year-old that prances around in her blue bathing suit with the ruffles, you know? Come on, then. Come on. So I was exhausted yesterday. But that's why I wasn't here yesterday. But anyway. Huh? Well, drink more water. Will that do it? Charge me up, hydrate me up? Yeah, well, you should be doing your water anyway, all right? But you want to have an energy level, a joy level, an enthusiasm, for your daily life. Now, that's kind of hard with this disease because this disease, tries very hard to drag you down and to slow you down, all right? And to impose on your joy and your enthusiasm and your energy level. How do you get over that? Have you noticed how Parkinson's... What, hey? Oh, fake it till you make it. Oh, that's it. You're right. Fake it till you make it. And what do I mean by that? It works like a charm. You can wake up in the morning, and I always try to teach you to set your disposition when you wake up in the morning, because this is our first choice of the day. I choose to be positive. I choose to be negative. I choose to be happy. I choose to be sad. Okay? I choose to be tolerant. I choose to be angry. Okay? So you set up and wake up in the morning and you set your tone. Are you doing it? Got a girl. Because, you know, it's true, both for patients and for caregivers, there's so much going on with your emotions and with your feelings. This is very difficult, what you're doing, for patients and for caregivers. Some caregivers really struggle along the path of caring for someone that they dearly love with Parkinson's disease. And a lot of times you can go to a professional that will give you the tips and the tools and the encouragement and the guideline, the pathway to take, that's going to make it so much easier for you and so much more pleasant an experience. You know, caregiving is a privilege. I usually have some scrunched faces when I say that. I've had a lot of people verbally disagree with me. It's a privilege to care for somebody that you love. It's a privilege to have them in your life. It's a privilege to have the physical and mental health to care for them and to help them, right? I think it is anyway.
The second part of my question was back on track. I seem to be, when I get up in the morning, I can't really set the tone for that day until my meditation kicks in. Because I'm just not in a very good mood, not being able to move, but as soon as I get the freedom of movement, I'm looking at.
Yeah, and see, that's a real good point, Pete. You know, you wake up and you're off because you've had, you know, a dormant period throughout the night. So whereas someone that's not living with the effects of Parkinson's disease, they wake up really already up here. They're feeling good. You know, they woke up, they're feeling good, no aches, no pains, a certain amount of energy, you know, look forward. And also they know that what they set now in their mind that they're going to do today, barring something unexpected, they're going to do it. Whereas all the variables with the Parkinson patient, you wake up, you know, discouraged already because you're not ready to dance the jig. You're waking up, you're not moving. So even if you're motivated in your head, if you're empowered in your mind, you know, you got to wait for that body of yours to kick in. All right. So it's very important, my friends, that you are really right on with your medications, with your dosing. This is why your Parkinson medications make a huge, huge contribution to your ability to enjoy quality of life and to stay active and engaged. So this is where I come back again. Please be sure that you are under the care of a board-certified neurologist that's really going to take the time and the effort and the focus and the attention to get your meds just where you want to be. Because sometimes they need tweaked and changed. Because remember, your disease is doing what? It's progressing. All right? So what we're doing today might not be what we should be doing next month or in 6 months. All right? So you need to have that neurologist that really pays attention to your drug dosing. And then the biggest thing that you can do for yourself is be what? Drug compliant. Medication compliant. So this is one time it's okay to be obsessive. All right? It's time. And I will give you, because I am very respectful of the need to keep your drug levels like this. So I'll give you a 5-minute window. If you're to dose at 8 or dose at 12 or dose at 4 or dose at 6 or whenever you're dosing, give yourself a 5-minute window and just get whatever it takes to remind you to take your meds on time and correctly. All right, Pete?
That's what's so important about Parkinson's Place. When I get up in the morning, it's to get ready to go to Parkinson's Place. I really enjoy it here, so it gives me a reason to get out of bed and get going.
Yeah.
And then the meds kick in, and I'm down here having a great time.
Good. I'm glad to hear that, Pete, because that's the other thing, too. If you don't have a rhyme or reason, he's on my marketing team. I pay him. I pay him in cookies, and I pay him in iced coffee, right? Tony pays him in iced coffee. But if you don't have a motivating factor to get out of bed or to get up and to get dressed, you got to hold on to your life. You've got to stay engaged, because what happens when you become isolated or alone, physically or mentally? What happens? Huh? More depression, you don't have the stimulation, you don't have the enjoyment, the camaraderie, the friendship, because I watch all of you motivate and help each other. I can tell when one of you in doing so great and right away, you know, you're watching over each other. It's a terrific component of Parkinson Place. I don't know how to put that on one of my brochures. I'm designing now our trillionth brochure. But anyway, this one's going to be a good one. But you know, your ability to care for each other and to motivate each other and to help each other, it's an extraordinary thing, right? You got enough trying to help yourself, but you are always reaching out to help each other.
It's sort of a question. I listen and everybody says when you wake up in the morning. What happens when you wake up 6 times?
Yeah, well, yeah, sleep health we call it sleep health. Sleep disruptions for Parkinson patients is huge. How many of you have trouble getting through the night? 2 hands up with Miss Naomi. Okay. So you fall asleep and you sleep for a while and then all of a sudden you're awake. Right. Okay. Well, there's certain things with sleep help that'll help you. Actually, we're going to do a presentation. When is it, Dusty? I think it's coming. The November conference, we're going to be addressing sleep well. Okay, probably is it Dr. Madden going to do it? But just certain guidelines that I can help you with, because you know your need to sleep both for the patient and for the caregiver is huge. What you want to try to do, you know, is the senior body, particularly the senior body with Parkinson's disease, it likes its own clock. It will put itself on a clock. So the first thing you want to try to do with sleep health is to try to go to bed and wake up at the same time every day. Get yourself into a habitual sleep pattern, right? You should be in a certain routine during the course of the day anyway, all right? What time do you wake up? What time do you have breakfast? What time do you take your medicines? What time do you rest? What time do you lunch? So basic things like sleeping, eating, medicating, okay, resting, things like that, needs to be kind of a solid routine for you on a daily basis, all right? So try to wake up, try to go to sleep at the same time, all right? Dr. Madden recommends no naps after which time? Who can tell me? 4. He's actually moved it up a little bit. For people with serious sleep problems, he'll say no naps after 1. That means lay down in your recliner or your bed. Now, I know you're going to nod off, all right? But, so you want to be careful with that. You want to be careful with limiting your fluids after dinner, all right? I would actually stop at dinner, all right? Because lots of times you have to get up to go to the bathroom, and then you're awake. And it's very hard in the night. Have you noticed when things are quiet and dark, there's no distractions? So sometimes your mind can really rush with all of the thoughts that you were too busy to think during the course of the day. Have you noticed that? All right, well, it's an exercise in futility to be doing all this thinking and all of this problem solving. Okay, I figured this out. Because nobody knows you're doing it. And you're losing your beauty sleep. And you're losing your rest, all right? And it's an exercise in futility to start thinking. So you say to yourself, enough already, I'm going to go back to sleep. Stop it. Just go to sleep. Yeah. It doesn't work that way. Well, okay, so, and the other thing too is watch your caffeinated beverages, all right? Watch your wine and alcohol consumption. I know none of you are doing wine and alcohol except one of you.
Iced tea is the same.
Iced tea, coffee, sodas, chocolates. We could probably do a whole list of caffeine. All the good stuff right now has salt, sugar, fat, you know. All right. Right. Now they say too that, you know, if you wake up, don't put all the lights on. You should all have your night light on at night. Please have your night lights on at night. all right? Lose the throw rugs. Make sure shoes are put away. I'm rolling you right into safety, okay? Get up, use the restroom, go back to bed. If you're laying in bed, tossing and turning, the professionals usually say, what? Get out of bed. Get out of bed, go and listen to some quiet music in your recliner. Pick up your book for a little bit. Don't put on some of these horrible shows on television, that'll... I don't even understand some of the cartoons, do I, Dust? Okay. Some of the cartoons are very stimulating, A flashlight's a good idea.
That evening before you go to bed, someone knocked over something on the floor.
Yes.
A rug was turned down.
Someone like her. I heard that. Marga's acting like she's not paying attention to you, but she's not missing any. Yeah. So you know what? You set your room up that you have everything that you need. All right. Try to stay in the bed if you can stay there. If you need to get out, the flashlight, the night light. If you have any throw rugs in your home, please get them out. All right. Remember when you get up, what I want you to do when you get up in the night. If you have to get up out of your bed at the night, how do I want you to do it? You should all know the answer to this.
Sit on the side of the bed, 30 seconds or so.
Yeah, just sit there so your blood pressure can rearrange itself, so that you can orient, where am I? I told you when I moved into my new house, I couldn't understand. I was all lost in the bedroom. Because for 35 years, I saw the sun come up on that wall. And now the wall is dark. And I'm like, must be raining out, or where am I? I got all confused, So really take time to orient yourself and take time to slowly, carefully get to the bathroom and back, all right? With regards to sleeping together, which is certainly none of my business, but if you can sleep together, be close, by all means do it. Stay close to each other for as much as you can. It's very important. You meet in the hall. Don't tell me more than I need to know, Mrs. Snyder. All right? That being close together is very, very important for people of any age that love each other. And that's where I'm going to stop there. But if you're imposing on your loved one's sleep patterns, then it's time for you to position yourself in your own room. Are you clear with that? Because you caregivers need your rest, you need your privacy, you need your time alone, and the same thing for you caregivers, okay? So you will know when the time has come to reposition yourself in the second bedroom. I'm stopping there. Yes.
We haven't bought the best thing in the world, and everybody should get one. We bought 10 lights to hang on hangers, and when it's dark out, the movement of the body in the infrared sets them off up to 20 feet away.
Okay.
I have little lighted pathways through the house.
That's terrific. Like in the airplane, it lights up to the restroom.
It's so funny.
That's great.
They're coming on left and right, and then they go on for 30 seconds.
There you go. Those motion lights are terrific. Aren't they terrific? That's a good point. We should start with all these little diddlies that you find, make a list of all these great resources that you're coming up with. I encourage you not to overdo it. And then I know, and I certainly can respect and understand that when you're having a good day, when you're feeling on, and when you're feeling strong and everything, you try to cram everything in there, right? I'm going to get it done. I'm going to do it. I feel good today. It's not really a good idea. You're better off to pace yourself even out during the course of the day, all right? Because if you use up all your energy, you use up all your reserves, and you're used up by 1 o'clock, what do you do by the rest of the day? And then you really fatigue your body. Sometimes, I don't know about you, but if I'm overtired, I can't sleep, or if I'm overstimulated, I don't sleep. If I eat my last meal of the day too late, I don't sleep. Right? So I've learned I need to sleep. Sunday night through Thursday night, I need to sleep. to function at the highest level in here and the rest of my life, right? So find what works for you. Find what works for you. Watch your naps during the day. Remember, friends, my Parkinson patients, you get tired. You are working so hard to do what you do. Everything that you do, you're burning more energy, more calories. You're working harder to do everything, right? And this is why you're going to get tired. It's more of an effort. It takes more energy to do everything. So you want to pace. You need to listen to your body. You need to read your body. This is true of anybody of any age. I've always said, in all the years I've been talking about healthcare and everything, your body will speak to you just as clearly as I'm talking to you now, doesn't it? Your body will talk to you. You need to listen. You need to listen, which is great. You need to listen. Oh, I'm feeling down. I'm feeling stressed. I'm feeling sick of my stomach. I have a pain in my back. You have to listen, but what's the key? Do something. Do something. All right? So know what's normal for you. If you're doing something's occurring during the course of the day that's not normal for you, you need to pay attention and you need to tell somebody about it. If something that comes up all of a sudden, all right? And then do something about it. I would rather you be safe than sorry, particularly Parkinson's disease, because you got all this stuff going on with you, all right? I would rather you call the doctor's office, talk to the nurse, and say, I got this going on today. What do you think? All right? She's going to say, don't worry about it. You're overtired. You got the cold, whatever, okay? Or she's going to say, I want you to come in and be seen. But don't sit on it. This is why, particularly men, and I love you guys, but, it'll go away. It'll quit. It'll disappear. Whereas women with our healthcare, we tend to be more proactive, and it's easier for us to call the doc. You guys will sit in the recliner. I've seen many strokes because they're sitting in the recliner thinking it's gonna quit. It ain't gonna quit. Okay. So be proactive with your life. Okay, Pete.
A lot of times I have chores that I have to do that I just dread. And don't get the energy out to go and do them. When you finally start on them, you'll find how quick and easy it was, and you were afraid of nothing.
The chores that you have to do, my mother always taught me thinking about it is worse than doing it. Isn't that the truth? You can start thinking about it. Boy, I can talk myself right out of anything. All right? And then I was also taught as a child, do the worst tasks. Why? It's out of the way and done. And it's all downhill after that. So that's a pretty good rule too. Try to realize that when you wake up in the morning, know the course of your day. You all know when you're really feeling the best, right? So I've learned even here at the place, not to post anything after 1 o'clock. It's hard for you. 2 o'clock, the easier programs. But you get tired. I watch you winding down. And I know from my standpoint, I'd rather you go home, have a rest period, leisure time, so that you eat a good dinner and sleep well at night. So it's all about modification, moderation, and an agenda that works for you. An agenda that works for you.
Would you consider maybe hanging a board or something where we could stick stuff up on recipes?
Yeah. Dustin and I, this is the bonus room in here, which is, I have named the Marilyn Room. It's the only room that I'm trying to hold on to controlling, But that's going to be a fun room, and that can be just about anything that you want. We're going to put the photos up. We're going to put a listing of all the community partners up. And that's I want that to be more of a go-to, fun, upbeat room. But I think it's really important that, that you do share recipes, success strategies. I call them tips and tools. Right? And we could probably really put together a sensational Parkinson place, little whatever how to do it or whatever you want to call it, because particularly with the recipes. I know a lot of you caregivers, a lot of my men are telling me that they're cooking and doing a pretty good job at it. Sometimes we need the role reversals. Okay, so anything like that, so we can certainly get a cork board. What else do you want?
If you put some of those recipes online, we can print them out right there.
Okay, that might be, well, yeah, I'm trying to go paperless here, Pete, thank you. Yeah, and see, something like that, volunteers can do. Anybody that's computer savvy, I've got 2 extra offices, actually, with computers, or bring your laptop or stuff like that. That can go online. I am going to be putting, please, I'm making a big commitment to the Parkinson Place website, and nutrition will be its own category now, things like that, and go to I know, Pete, you told me you cooked something last week, didn't you? That you and Debbie both loved, right?
I'm going out and getting the ingredients and doing it.
Yeah. If you're into that, have at it. So, that being said, how do you maintain your joy and your enthusiasm and the perk, the perkiness in your life? This is not a perky disease. Perky Parkinson's, no. It's not perky, it's not pretty, it's not positive. Is it? No, so I'm going to sit up here on my perch and say be perky, positive, and pretty. What's the key? You can do it.
Drugs.
Okay, Marga. How do you stay positive? How do you stay enthusiastic? How do you maintain your joy and your energy for life?
It's up to you.
It's up to you. Thank you. It is totally up to you. I'm a believer that your life is exactly as you choose it to be. Do you agree with me? Certain things we can't fix, certain things we can't conquer, all right? But we can modify how we think about it, and we can certainly control how we approach it and our attitude of what we choose to do about the reality in our life, right? So what do you choose to do? I mean, you sit in front of me week after week after week trying to absorb all these tips and tools, and I think most of you are using them, aren't you? Because you really are doing terrific. Do you know, I always judge myself in my work in Parkinson's by looking at you. I don't know how to tell you caregivers this, but I can't tell the patients from the caregivers. Isn't that the truth? I mean, you are very well controlled with your symptoms, all right? You are all positive, groomed, here, happy, engaged in life. And that, you see, is the key. That is the key. What do you do when you do go down?
Look for encouragement from other people.
You look for encouragement from other people. You want to try as hard as you can to stay up here. You want to do your best to stay up here. But when you feel yourself floundering, I call it floundering. Is that a word? Floundering is when you start stumbling, you get shaky, you weaken a little bit, you start flopping around, you're not standing strong and confident and under control. But when you start that feeling coming on in you, don't wait until you're all the way down to reach out and ask for help. I mean, you have good people in your life. You're very fortunate, How many of you have at least one person in your life that loves and cares about you? At least one person. Good. You're all set. All right. But reach out and talk to people. I'm not feeling my best today. I need a helping hand or whatever. Okay? But this is your choice. And you have to make your lifestyle a habit. You have to make your thinking, your behavior. This is behavior modification because you've had so much taken away from you, haven't you? It's one change after the other. It's one loss after the other. All right, Pete?
Fine. Sometimes people are afraid to reach out and ask somebody for help because they don't want to bother them. But
I find that too. I think the world is full of terrific people. I refuse to believe otherwise. People are nice. The average person is very nice, very helpful, very concerned about others, okay? And a lot... Yes, you don't know what to do, and it's the fact that they don't know whether it's right or whether it's wrong to offer or to make a suggestion or to help or anything like that, you know? And so, don't hesitate. You know the people in your life that know and love you. They're there. They've always been there. So just reach out and say, you know what, I need a hand. Can you help me out? Now, don't have them coming in cleaning the kitchen and the bathroom, all right? But if you need an adult, somebody to stay with your loved one, or if you need a ride, all right? Or if you need something picked up at Publix, please don't hesitate. Yeah, that's right. Just reach out for people. You see it all the time in parking lots and stores and public places and everything, holding the door open and. Well, I think Florida is a very friendly state with the people because we're all from someplace else. We're all from someplace else, and we have to be nice. Not have to be nice to people, but we want to be nice to people because there's not one specific culture. My mother's in South Jersey, and the worst place to be in South Jersey is in a parking lot. They will run you over. Just not niceness. Just not nice, or cut you off, or... Yeah, I got real tickled. All these circles that they're putting on, I don't get them. All the circles, I get so confused in these circles. I don't know whether I'm going or coming or... So I finally had to go to my son Mikey, and I said, when do I have the right of way? When I'm in or when I'm out? And he said, Mother, once you're in the circle, you're okay until you get out, So, I go home down Weber, and so I start saying to myself, I got to get in the circle, But it was amazing because this great big SUV was coming around, and he stopped. I guess I must have looked really doofus trying to figure out when to go in, but I've got to conquer now. But anyway, he's, come on, get in, So things like that is like you see it on the freeway. I know everybody talks about road rage and stuff like that. I got stuck on the interstate, with the rain and the international drive traffic, those malls over there, 3 o'clock on a Sunday, stay away. So I had the radio on, and it said, if you're on I-4 in Orlando, around International Drive, you are not in the place that you should be. And that's exactly where Mayor was sitting, And then I was like, this is fun, And then it started raining. And then I thought, this is even more fun, I just listened to the radio and had a good time. But it was so nice to see people letting people in, people letting people out when they had to get out, You have to work at making the world a better place. In the privacy of your relationship in your home and when you go out the front door, right? So work on that. But set your mood. Say, I want to be happy. Please live the day. Just live the day. I actually live the moment or the hour, all right? And whatever you're doing, give it 100% of your attention. You know what I'm saying? If you're doing something with somebody you love, you give it 100% of your attention and then go on, do something else. You got me? But don't be doing this, thinking about this, that, and the other. Live quality, all right? Live quality. Pete, did this help you?